My name is Maurice Velasquez.
And I'm John Shirk.
And this is Winning in the Workplace.
Powered by Team Real World.
Welcome to Winning in the Workplace on Talk 107.3 FM. I'm Gordy Rush from Team Real World, the champs. John and Maurice.
Hey, Gordy.
Guys, how are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Been good. Been a busy time for us, and I'm excited we get a chance to sit down and talk about one of my favorite topics, and that's exactly what we're going to discuss, winning in the workplace.
Yeah.
And for the first time ever, we're going to take the title of the show,
Yes,
Winning in the Workplace, and let's break down, what do you think are the couple core elements that we all need to know about winning in the workplace? What's preventing us from winning in the workplace?
Wow, that's a great topic, Gordy. There's a lot of things. I mean, you read a lot of books on professionalism, how to work better together, and there's, you could almost say there's about 10 to 15 things that all these authors and publishers agree on. You know, let me throw out a couple of them. Expectations are not clearly communicated.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll throw entire teams to wasting time over a period of months.
Oh, yeah. Another common one are just the basic tools that are needed. Either they don't have them or they don't work.
Everything from, is my computer working, to I don't know that I have the goals that we need to accomplish. Those are key critical tools.
Yep. Exactly.
Something else, another element that really gets in the way of not being able to succeed in the workplace is there's not enough praise and recognition, and that's an area that a lot of managers feel like, well, I usually don't want to just walk around and sound fake.
Right.
We normally kind of joke and say, "Well, don't say it fakely. You know, don't be fake about it. You know."
Right.
But I'll tell my teams that I appreciate them once a month, and that's just not recognizing the fact that human beings like to be told, "Hey, man, good job," and half of them want the personal connection.
Right.
Whereas those that don't want the personal connection, what they want is a validation that their work is being respected and that it's going somewhere.
That's right. Yeah. And right behind that is the developmental piece, where the skills and the knowledge and the abilities that they know they came in with a base, but is someone really helping them turn that into superstar level of talent, or at least a level of talent where they feel like they can hit a single every time they go to the plate?
Yeah. Other things are, there's not enough focus, there's not enough attention, there's not enough discipline about making sure that there's some kind of plan that focuses on your development.
Right.
Oftentimes it's just left up to, do we have any budget to send people to workshops? You know, but there's not a real program or a real conscience organized way of saying we need to make sure that we develop the skills for our team members to grow from track to track and give them some kind of career path.
Yeah, one of the new things that's being discussed new in the last 10 years in human resources circles is what's called a competency model, as opposed to a job description, where we're talking about the list of competencies required to do the job as opposed to just the areas of responsibility. And it makes it a little easier to focus on a learning plan because it's defining the competencies.
Having said all these, okay, and I think we could spend a lot of time talking about many others. Probably, Gordy, the absolute number one issue that we hear that has been trending now for the past 10 years, and it's growing.
Yeah.
That is keeping most employees, managers, leaders from winning in the workplace and working together comes down to this one issue. All right? It is this, is that individuals do not feel that the opinions and the knowledge that they have about solving problems, introducing new ideas, coming with solutions to the table are going to be seriously considered, or that those ideas and feedback will go anywhere.
So basically not fulfilled.
Yes.
Like they're part of something. And let me ask you, is that more tilted towards millennials, or is that multi-generational?
No. It's just that interesting. The millennials are making the point to say, we're going to be heard.
Right. They're going to keep talking no matter what.
They're the ones who are saying, we're going to be heard, and we're going to use that as the litmus test of the kind of company we're going to stick around for 6 weeks or not. And they have a keen sense of smell that if they go get a job and within 6 weeks, 5 weeks, they can tell, you know what, no one listens to anybody around here, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
and they are very quick at jumping. Whereas us that are not millennials, we just kind of put up with it, and then we allow those levels of frustration to grow and grow and grow. And eventually that upsetness that we all carry, that bleeds over into the culture, and all that anger, all that frustration becomes anger. The anger becomes drama. The drama becomes discontent, becomes disengagement. And you know what? We just start wasting time because things don't go around anywhere.
Right. I can use this illustration this way. If I go out behind this building and my job is to dig holes with a shovel, and the handle on my shovel is wiggly, it's more significant for the manager to listen to my frustration about the wiggly handle than it is to get me a better shovel.
Let's think for a second about that wiggly handle, because I know we usually joke around and call this the wiggly handle factor, okay?
Right.
Is that wiggly handle causing that employee to lose heart about the quality and the amount of output in their work? Of course it is.
Yeah.
All right?
Yep.
Well, what happens if that wiggly handle doesn't get fixed? Okay, what does that do to the employee?
Right. And on top of it, there's these two different pieces. There's the what if the employee isn't listened to in their frustration, and that's a different question from what if the handle doesn't get fixed.
Correct.
Because you can even dig holes, maybe not as well, but you can still dig holes with a handle that has a wiggly shovel, but nothing gets done with a disengaged digger.
Yeah, and
Right.
so what happens? You have a new employee. They get the handle. They get the shovel, and they start noticing. Wow, I got a wiggly handle. This is really getting to be frustrating. I'm going to go talk to Maurice, our manager, right?
Yep.
And they make that comment to another worker who's been working with Maurice for 3 years, and that person has a history that, you know what, it's going to go nowhere.
Right.
So the new person says, I'm going to go talk to Maurice. What is the more than likely response that employee is going to say? Good luck with that.
Right.
Well, what do you mean good luck with that? Well,
Yeah.
let's see where it goes. Well, two things are going to happen. That person's actually going to speak up, and sure enough, it's going to go nowhere. And then they kind of look at each other and go, you see, I told you.
Right.
All right. Or, what's sometimes worse, the newbie goes and talks, and it gets fixed.
Yeah, and everybody else is thinking, what is going
what
on?
happened? And so now the discontent is at a totally different level.
Right.
And so it's like, wait, oh, I see. Fair-headed stepchild. What did they do? Oh, and so we're going to play favorites. So the issue of problems, Gordy, the fact that down, and I say down just because of organizational chart, closer to the client where the customers live,
Yep.
the frontliners know the inconsistencies that exist throughout the company. One department does it one way, another department does another way.
Yep.
One boss walks around saying A, another boss walks around saying A minus. The staff, they're talking in the cafeteria, through text. They're complaining to each other about all these issues. And by the time it gets out that they're talking about it, the managers consider it drama. They consider it gossip. And so nobody wants to go and talk about those things because, man, everybody just needs to stop gossiping and get back to work. So it becomes this almost forbidden zone that managers they want to stay away from, because the minute they tap into that, you don't know what kind of volcano is going to erupt.
Well, so how does a manager deal with the fine line of how much is enough? In other words, how much do you allow people to give their 2 cents, and you certainly want input. But it gets to the point that they're spending more time giving you input than actually doing their task at hand.
Yeah, it's a great question.
Let me give you some feedback on this one, Gordy. It's important when the manager is literally managing the communication that he or she is able to separate data from judgments in what's being said to him
Exactly.
or her. If there's a lot of, let's call it whining. There's a lot of whining, but there's no data behind it.
Or it's gotten to where it's whining, right?
Right, yeah.
The problem's gotten to whining. Go
Right.
ahead.
And it's like, Joe is such a jerk. I'm working next to Joe. Joe is an idiot. He's a jerk. Well, what makes him an idiot? I don't know. He's just an idiot. No. I can't do anything with judgments. I can only do things with data. Well, Joe calls me 6 times a day, and he's got the manual right behind his desk.
Whoa. Hold on.
Okay.
6 times a day?
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. What is he calling you 6 times a day about?
Well, he's got this thing he's trying to fix on his computer, and he's trying to get it done, and he can look up how to do it in his manual instead of bothering me.
Wait a minute. Joe just went to training 2 weeks ago.
That's right. That's where we got the manual.
So now what happens, Gordy, is that now we can base some type of resolve or some type of solution to this problem if we know data is associated with the problem, and we can go help Joe now.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay? So what happens is that the managers tend to stay away. They tend to use an approach of stay away. that what they miss is they miss an opportunity to go and train their people how to dissect problems. Okay, and they don't teach them how to dissect the difference, as John was pointing out, the difference between feelings, between judgments, between the data, and between action. And so that's a really key opportunity that managers aren't taking advantage, and all those problems stay down there, and it gets in the way of
All
performance.
right, guys, let me jump in here. If you would, you guys have a new website. Let's push
Correct.
that out. If you want to get in touch with John Maurice, Team Real World.
Excellent. Thank you, Gordy. Go to winningintheworkplace.com. winningintheworkplace.com. You'll find assessments, courses, events, blogs. It's filled with video training. It's filled with great information about how to win in the workplace. Thus the name, winningintheworkplace.com.
That's right.
John, did you come up with that?
No, in fact,
I'm just
in
saying.
fact, our radio host, Mr. Gordy Rush, developed the name Winning in the
Yes.
Workplace.
And that's a great seg, because what I'll say is we'll be back with more Winning in the Workplace in just a few minutes.
Winning in the Workplace is the most practical and results-driven training to increase your skills as a professional manager and leader. So are you ready to win in your workplace? Visit www.winningintheworkplace.com.